Have you ever wondered what kind of person you would transform into if fear didn't stop you? If anxiety, if discouragement, if doubt had no power over you? Have you ever considered who you might transform into? What could it do to your identity if whenever these emotions, these feelings came up, you took action anyways? You saw them as an excuse to move forward, not an excuse to stop. The difference between who you are now and who you could be is what you do in the face of fear. It's what you do in the face of those feelings that try to talk you out of what's necessary. If you went out of your way to start courage maxing, courage farming, you'll elevate to a level that you now won't comprehend. There's a level beyond where you're at now, and it's up to you to take the necessary steps to execute so you can explore and find out what this level is, what it means to you. If you weren't afraid, what would you do? If these feelings didn't exist, what would you do? What actions would you take? Would you continue to wait? Would you finally move instead of being paralyzed? What is it? When you find out what it is, do it. The fear, the doubt, the discouragement, all of this stuff is going to always show up. It's always going to be there. And it's up to us to interpret the message it's sending us in the right way that leads to our advantage and not the other way around. Door-to-door sales is a brutal environment. It's like learning the violin. Every mistake is apparent. Any minor adjustment or any minor mistake, it shows up. And it could cost you money. Or it could cost you the sound quality of your instrument. It's a high pressure environment where you're getting rejected. Fear lies in the rejection in and of itself. Nobody likes being rejected. And the common thing to take it as is personally. But who would you become if you went through that arena? The equivalent. That really tests you to your core. When I'm out in the residential areas, especially when it's warmer outside, when there's people outside of their homes where all you gotta do is just walk up and start talking, that's when the fear hits. That's when it becomes difficult. That's when I think, especially if they see me, let me let them go inside first. I'm gonna go over here where it's not clear that somebody even is here. Let me let them go inside, and then I'll come back around, and then I'll go to their house. But then that's a mistake. That's one, training me to avoid the feeling that arises instead of attacking it head on, therefore making me weaker. But then it's also dwindling my chances of a contact, a conversation, the ability to actually catch the person so I can have that conversation. And those are just two of the negatives by avoiding action because of some feelings. But you know what? Every time I move forward and every time I say, you know what, forget the feelings, I'm going to talk to him anyways. Those times have led to valuable insights, valuable information, and also sales. And if I didn't walk up to them and start talking, in the face of the fear, then I wouldn't have been able to gain anything. I would have lost. That interaction wouldn't have happened. So every time you act, in spite of these feelings, you're gaining something. It may not be tangible where you can hold it, but there's something inside of you. The instant you say, I'm going to move forward despite the feelings anyways, you start to carve out something inside of you that allows you to take action later. You start training yourself to act in spite the fear. You start training yourself to take action instead of delaying. And that leads to more productivity. That leads to a better life. That leads to another level that you couldn't reach if you didn't do it. Anyways. So what is the action that you can take that fuels that feeling of fear inside of you, but you've been stopping beforehand? What is that one thing you could do? Instead of stopping, you move forward through it. Do that.